I grew up in going to private school, and so I saw a lot of hypocrisy with the type of Christianity that they were saying one thing and doing another. I remember actually praying to God at one point and saying, I need the ability to go out and learn about the world, different religions. I need to experience things and live it like I see other people living it. And if you're the truth, it'll all come back to you. My life was just this vortex of partying, drugs, trying to accumulate as much money as possible. I decided on a whim to move to New York City. Actually, my first couple years moving here, it was the most awkward question to get was why you moved. I ran away from my problems. I was trying not to face any of it. I felt that I could find myself if I just moved far enough away. Eventually, what ended up happening was being God over my own life became a prison where I had boxed myself in and I had become dependent on addictions, whether that was cocaine or Molly while I was partying, or weed to numb myself when I was feeling lonely, sex or pornography, just anything to not have to feel or think long term. One of my friends who was also going to C3 at this time, we had actually met partying and stuff like that. I was confiding in her and telling her how I was feeling, and she just told me that that's a lie. That isn't your identity. That's not the plan Christ has for you. Come to C3, come to this church I've been going to, come check it out. So I started going for the music and kind of just the cool people there at first. Millions of people in one of the largest cities in the world. You don't think you're gonna encounter Christ there. I had allowed a lot of bad things to get inside of me, and it was kind of being pushed out. I remember Fillmore was going around praying for people, and he just said, show your son just how much you love him and how much he's accepted and just how much he's wanted here and stuff. And that one thing, that love of Christ, that reckless love that we call it, changed something on the inside of me. The life I had lived and just the disrespect I had paid and the way I had hated Jesus at one point, it was really kind of like that parable of the lost son, and it really rocked me emotionally, where I was thinking, what is this? That I could literally kind of like, I could hit you once, you turn the other cheek, and I'd hit you again, and then I'd hit you again and again until almost like all the hate was out, and it was just Christ there saying, I still accept you, I still love you. And in that, I actually really learned my personality, my identity, that freedom to figure out who I was. And in the church, I was accepted for that. But I'm understanding that all I need to do is make a commitment. And if I make that commitment, you'll help me a lot of the ways, doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And if I fail, you'll pick me back up and help me to keep going. His love, His mercy, and really, giving me a sense of worthiness that I've never had before. And I'm just so excited about living my life, because a lot of things that seemed like dead ends or seemed like I had lived my best life, I realize now it hasn't even really gotten started. I feel what Christ has told me is that if I can really put my faith in Him and solve these issues, that it'll all have been worth it, because I'll be able to help walk the other people through that type of a gauntlet and stuff. When I think back upon my life, those 12 years, it just seemed dry. It just seemed I was always seeking for something else, always thirsty. Him in my life has been hydrating, right? It's been like you're searching for this, just a glass of water, something to quench your thirst, and He's just there. And it's like a never-ending source too. And for people who are coming to Christ or giving it a shot the first time, and I still feel weird saying stuff like this, but I almost want to be like, just taste and see, the Lord is good.